Police have just announced that the search for Gus is going to resume again tomorrow, on Friday. They are intending to drain the dam on the property. This is a new development. It is not known why this has now come about, but the search will resume again tomorrow. So I'm just driving up to Josh Lamont's property now. It's a small cottage in Vallely North. This property is about 2 hours away from the homestead where little Gus Lamont was last seen. It's obviously a really sad, traumatic situation that's happened here. It's always hard to cover these kinds of stories. You know, as a mum myself, my heart really does go out to the family in these situations. My name is Jonica Bray and I'm a senior reporter for the Daily Mail. I have been covering the Gus Lamont missing case story since it unfolded over a month ago, and I have travelled here today deep into the South Australian outback to speak to the Lamont family and hear their side of the story. However, here I am at the cottage that Joshua Lamont has been renovating, and Josh Lamont is nowhere to be found. I've spoken to members of the local community and the neighbours who tell me that Josh hasn't been back to the property since his young son went missing. The property remains basically abandoned, and now people think he may never return. Friends say they are completely baffled by what's happened and for the silence that's followed. It's now been over a month since little Gus vanished from his grandparents' remote sheep station, Oak Park, about 43 kilometres south of Yunta. The 4-year-old was last seen playing in a pile of sand around 5:30 in the afternoon. Despite 2 major search operations involving police, the Australian Defence Force and SES volunteers, there has been no sign of him since. The only clue, a small footprint in the dust, believed to match the boots that Gus was wearing when he disappeared under his grandmother's care. Since that day, the family has remained silent. Locals talk of a deepening rift between Josh and the Murrays, Gus's maternal grandparents, who have bunkered down at the property where the little boy vanished. Friends have told the Daily Mail that emotions are running high, that the rift between Josh and the Murrays has deepened, and that things have been said that cannot be unsaid. It's understood that it was the police, not family, who told Josh that his son was missing. They came here to the house where he was already asleep for the night, knocking on his door and waking him and delivering that absolutely devastating news. Gus's grandmother, Josie Murray, a fiercely private woman who transitioned many years ago, previously told the Daily Mail she didn't want outside help in the search. Meanwhile, Gus's mother, Jessica, and his baby brother Ronnie haven't been seen in the area since Gus disappeared. Locals say no one knows where they've gone. Friends have told the Daily Mail that Jessica is an extremely quiet and shy lady. She is highly intelligent and actually skipped the last year of high school to go to university early. She's a high achiever. By contrast, they say Josh is fiery, outspoken, and not the type to stay silent, which is why his disappearance is even more puzzling. Police continue to insist there are no suspicious circumstances, despite weeks of searching and no new evidence emerging. And we are not suggesting any of the family have any involvement in the little boy's disappearance. Helicopters, drones, Aboriginal trackers and volunteers scoured the harsh terrain for days, but nothing was found. Ronald Boland, a Port Augustus-based Aboriginal tracker and trapper, joined the early days of the search, which has since been called off, though investigations continue. Speaking to the Daily Mail this week, Mr. Boland said he remains certain that Gus would be found. He made a cryptic comment: "That little boy deserves respect to go about it on all the right roads. Police will find him, they will. They do what they do best. I do what I do best," he added. "One day, I will tell the story about Gus." He declined to comment on the significance of the solitary red footprint found about 500 metres north of Oak Park Homestead, citing his close working relationship with the police. But locals say they are baffled by the police's stance and frustrated that the search area didn't expand further. No one has been asked when they last saw Josh or when they last saw Gus. Members of the local community here tell us the police have not been in the area canvassing, door knocking or interviewing, and whilst Josh was here in the lead up to his son's disappearance, staying at the house for a number of days previously, no one has been to corroborate that story. Friends are now concerned for Josh's mental health and have been doing quiet welfare checks on the property. They don't know where he is, and they are really worried about his state of mind. Josh was renovating this small cottage for his family before Gus started school. Now it sits silent. Sheep wander the driveway, children's bikes lie on the back lawn, a haunting reminder of the life that he'd planned for his family. "I don't think he'll ever come back," a friend told the Daily Mail. "What's the point? All those plans are gone. He needs answers or he'll never be able to move on." Here in the outback, there are far more questions than answers. What's really happened to little Gus Lamont? The police have just announced that the search for Gus is going to resume again tomorrow, on Friday. They are intending to drain the dam on the property. The dam is 4.5 metres deep and has previously been searched by divers. This is a new development. It is not known why this has now come about, but the search will resume again tomorrow. I'm going to now travel to Yunta and then onwards to the homestead to see if the family wish to talk about the devastating situation that's unfolded and the update of what's happened.